Agent Littleton.
Yes.
Now, this is a classic thing. We saw this in the Nuremberg trials in 46 in Europe. We saw Germans, SS, and also regular army saying, oh, it was my commander, this commander, that commander, and I was just there doing my job. And then you say that you haven't seen Waco rules engaged with up for an Academy Award. And it's not something they cooked up. It came out in the Senate hearings with Al Inspector and others. So to sit there and to say that you haven't seen the footage, even the third generation, it's very obvious. They have one of the inventors of flare technology who works for the Pentagon. They're saying, well, this is automatic weapons fired. And then they lay a schematic down and show where all the machine gun nests were. And it shows 60 minutes with an air or port introspection that does work for the ATF. We did a study and said, yes, this shows people exiting and entering the building, firing automatic weapons. You see an incendiary device, several of them being fired in, some of those round glass and found, those incendiary grenades. And I understand that the ATF needs more funding for Comrade Clinton and the Clintonistas. We understand this. And we understand that we have the footage of y'all loading up the cameras and going out to kill a bunch of troops. And I'm sad that your agents, some of your agents got injured and killed. And I'm not going to sit around and make threats. When it comes time for me to leave my parents and my girlfriend and my life, I will for my country. And I really don't want to die because I really don't want to die because I love this country. But if I have to die for my country, I will. And I think I can see that little gleam in your eye. You would almost laugh when you would say, I can't talk about that, or I have no idea about that. You sir, look like a gangster. You look like a criminal. You reek of it, sir.
We didn't bring in your phone.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Well, yeah. No, it's not personal. It's the huge. This is the facts. It's the huge deal. This is why I don't come here. I'll never will come again. But this is what it comes down to. I had to come and talk to you and tell you that I've read the Constitution. I know what's going on in the country. I know about Rest 84. I know about FEMA. I've been around the national parks. I've seen the executive orders. I know what's going on in this country. From Oklahoma City, the World Trade Center bombing. The October 29th, New York Times 28 even admits it. Got a copy of it in my car. That the BATF and the FBI helped the terrorists cook the bombs. Andre Stossmeyer, Air and Republican Army, Carol Howe warned the FBI and the BATF. And it doesn't matter. Y'all stir up these hornets' nests to have media events to scare the sheep. And frankly, it's sick and it's sad. And it is the nature of power. That's all you are is a Roman centurion and all the rest of your type. And I know there's a lot of good people that have left your agencies and have left all the apparatus of control. I want to know why you haven't seen Waco Rules of Engagement and why you won't comment. And you said you were 1,100 yards away from the back of a building where all the automatic weapons fire was coming from. You saw it. So there's footage of it. There's tape of it. You want me to give you one of the tapes?
Yeah, that's...
Perhaps I'm off. Perhaps you're not a tape. Perhaps you're power hungry.
No.
Let him respond.
I had to say there was no automatic weapon fire coming from the back of the building. I'd like to see the tapes. I haven't seen those.
Well, they got them at the video store. Oh, why don't you call C-SPAN and get a copy from them?
Okay, I'll do
They
it.
aired it on TV, and that's how controlled our press is.
Okay.
You scare me. Seeing our local police train with you guys with black ski masks, and we've gone from 390,000 police officers to 490,000 police officers. And they're building helicopter bases here in Travis County. Damn it! We've been sucked off for so long. We pay 62% in some form of tax. We just wallow around and beg like a bunch of little pigs at your feet. And it isn't good enough because you're insecure, and deep down inside you can make the rationales all day. We're self-righteous. We're doing what's right. I'm nonviolent, to the end, defending my country from what's coming. And we see it building up. We see it preparing while President Clinton wallows over in China. So you have no soul if you do not come to grips with what really happened in Waco, because you obviously won't even comment on all the missing evidence and on everything else that has happened. The front door to the flare footage, and then to Oklahoma City with the seismographs and General Park. It's so much. There's so much going on. So much evil. So much tyranny. So much barbarism. What do you think when you walk into your office and there's all these little fleets of minions? It's sad to me. They need to go work for the mob or something. At least there, they can sleep with themselves at night. They're not acting like they're not criminals.
was digging through some of my old boxes and materials that I have, several years ago I was invited to speak at Wembley in London, England. It's a place where usually kings and popes speak, Nobel Prize winners, and the like. It was a great honor for me to be invited to speak at Wembley, and of course I accepted, and I did. While I was there, I was approached by some people whom I didn't know, who were English citizens, and at least one of them was from Australia. They belonged to a religious group, and they asked me to help them. I told them there's no way that I could help them because they lived in England and Australia, and there was nothing I could do in any way, shape, or form. But they gave me some of their literature, and they told me, in their exact words, this is what they said, quote, "They are after our children," end quote. And, quote, "They want our children," end quote. And, quote, "They want to take our children away from us," end quote. I didn't know who they were then. I did not read the papers that they gave me. I stuck them in my briefcase, brought them back to the United States, where they went into a box. Just the other day, I found them. And this was long before Waco, Texas. I wish now that I had paid more attention to those people because they were members of the Church of the Branch Davidian.